Make It Right, the manufacturing podcast.
What does world-class mean for your business? Back in July 2019, on episode 60, I had the pleasure of speaking with Vladimir Floresca, the plant manager at AP&G, which is a leading manufacturer of high-quality monitors and traps for rodent, fly, and insect management. Now, at the time, he'd been in that role for about 18 months and had set a path to take the plant to world class. I'm Janet Eastman, and on Make It Right, the manufacturing podcast, I am pleased to have Vladimir back on the show because right now, I think, Vladimir, you have now been with AP&G for 3 years. Is that correct? Good to see you.
Close to 2 years. Thank you very much for having me, Janet. Happy New Year and all my best wishes.
Yes, I think that 2021 is going to be a much better year, right?
Definitely. Definitely. It's still looking very challenging, but you know what? We've learned a lot from 2020.
Yeah.
And we are ready.
We are ready. So I have really, the last time we spoke, you told me so many interesting things about AP&G and about how you were planning to grow the company. So let's just get a visual from 18 months ago to where we are now. At the time we spoke, I think you had 17 lines that you were operating. What kind of components are you making? Just give people an idea about AP&G so they understand the setup where you're working.
Okay, excellent. So AP&G, we are leading manufacturer in the pest industry. So when you look at rodent, you look at glue boards and glue trays. So most of them, even if they are different name, they carry the brand Catchmaster. We definitely have a hand on it. So we do a lot of private label for some famous brand. So we do basically the plastic forming inside. So we have some part for the consumables. So consumables, they are the plastic forming and also the boards. The boards are, we have 3 big printers where we can get different rolls of paper, different size to make different kind of boards that can catch big rodents, boards that are very small for mosquitoes, mice, and different kind of creatures. So after the consumable part, you have the glue application lines and the packaging. So there's different glue application lines. Those are from line 1 to 7. Mm-hmm. And because there is kind of very diverse packaging demand from the retailer and from professional, we have also different lines to package those products, and they are we call them Artipack, Spider line. Those, if internally you're not on the manufacturing floor, you're not gonna understand what it is. But it's just basically we have 5 lines that handles the consumables, what gonna go into the glue application line, and then we have lines to go and really apply the glue on different form, different thickness, different rate, and we have different packaging lines. Apart from that, you have a glue lab. It's practically a mixing plant where we have different big tanks for mixing. We have 3 lines that mixes different kind of glue, and we have about 4 to 5 holding tanks, and we distribute them on those lines. And you know, it's looking pretty simple, but there is a lot of criteria involved in it. Temperature needs to be at a specific temperature. to transfer, to mix. It needs to be at a temperature to transfer the glue, to hold the glue. We are practically, we're not running 24 hours, but at any time, the plant never shut down because you're always holding glue. Even during the weekend, the glue stays in, and after Sunday night, Monday morning, it starts heating up again automatically, and so that we can fulfill orders.
So you say it sounds pretty simple, Vladimir, but doesn't sound simple to me, my friend. Okay. So you say that you've got all these lines, you're doing private label stuff, you're doing your own product, and then I guess you recently took on another company or acquired another company. So how does that fit into what you're doing now?
Okay, actually, I think it's a matchup, I would say, made in heaven, really. The Vector brand and the Catchmaster brand that both in part of the AP&G family right now. Vector brand, it's a brand that's very recognized in the ILT and business. So we acquired this brand because we have always manufactured glue boards for this kind of lamps. So it definitely is something that works together. We, as our finished goods or consumables for the lamps. So it really, it matched together. Now, the Catchmaster brand is around 70 to 80 countries around the world. Vector maybe more. Okay. So definitely there was a very good challenge to acquire this brand because you need to consolidate things.
So you don't have to bring those into your plant that where you manufacture now. They had their own plants. So does your factory stay the same?
Factory is say the same in the sense we're not gonna go and start producing the lamp right now. However, we need to adapt and get more line of products to fulfill all those lamps that they were doing. So we were maybe focusing on one or two, Victor Classic and things like that. But now that we acquired the entire brand, we are looking to develop much more of those glue boards to facilitate that. However, there is also, because when you're directing the operation, you need to take care of the entire supply chain. Mm-hmm. Now we are getting this brand of business. You need to understand all the quality requirements that they have. You need to be able to keep on bringing this and maybe bring it to a better level, and also understand how you can start reducing in cost and improving the service that they have, because it's all about servicing your customer in a best way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so wow, you've got a busy year ahead because we've just gone through the COVID-19 process, or pandemic rather, and it's still underway. You've got a new brand that you've acquired. You've been pushing for world class. So let's just talk a little bit about the challenges that you faced through 2020 when COVID hit and how you managed through that. And where did the challenges of that pandemic actually bring you to? Like, what did you learn from that whole process?
I'm gonna answer you most succinct, try to be very short and concise, but okay. I think we would have been able to have an entire conversation on this one subject. 2020 has been a year of a lot of opportunities, a lot of challenges, a lot of learnings, and I would say much more blessing than most of those things. First of all, we have to thank, be thankful because both of us, we are here, 2021, having a conversation and doing this. And many, you know, have lost loved ones, and many have lost their lives, like all around the world. Now, this pandemic came in for us, that's been, you know, we were projecting 20% growth. When the pandemic hit, I don't know what happened. It's a really nice business, a bulletproof business, I would say, because we end up with a 30% growth. And now I have to tell you, if you don't grow, you die. So this is the kind of moment when you need to see how you build, when you need to understand what are really the core values of the company. You know, we do say we have a core value. It's GLUCO, go beyond expectation, laugh, unstoppable, energize, and teamwork and ownership mind. Now, we saw that. We saw the engagement with our people. And I also understood with what company I was working with, the owner, the leadership. The CEO would be, I'm not gonna tell his age, but he would show up every day on the floor, like I did also. Because my question was, at this moment in the pandemic, I would say, okay, I had only one question to ask myself. Is my life worth more than my employees? And it was a simple answer, no. So if you're asking somebody to come in and to help you do something, you bring value first. You step up and try to do something. Like, again, some of them had been affected by it. And, you know, everybody have been affected by it, if you understand. And we had people along the way that have been consulting with us. We have 2 people and a part of the family, the AP&G family, that we've lost during the pandemic. And we have many employees that lost loved ones. So you need to be really have a lot of compassion while you're running the business, and very focused on growth and fulfilling the customers, but also the first customers. When you take care of them, they will take care of the external customers. So we really implemented all the guidelines that were proposed by the regulators of New Jersey. And we try to really being very and a lot of empathy with our people. And, you know, at this moment, it was 30% of the labor showing up, while you have 30% growth. So it's if you want me to point exactly what was done, I cannot do it. What I can tell you is we had to be very focused. We had to keep on laughing when we were also suffering. And all those tools that we had applied 18 months ago, started the journey into the 5S and the Lean tools, all really came very fruitful for us here at this moment, because people were still engaged. They knew where everything were, and the new employees that were coming in, because we had, while we were having people leaving and staying at home and taking leaves, we had to incorporate new employees in. We had to consolidate a night shift that normally would be a skeleton crew of 2 lines. We had to extend it to 6 lines, because increased capacity. You plan for 20%, you get 30. You need to manage. So I think it was very insightful. We learned a lot of things. We learned that we need to do more course training. It was not the 2 level of training that we have, not necessary. It's not enough. We need to go a third string and have 3 backup instead of 1 or 2, you know. So there was a lot of learning in that, definitely.
I know that when we had spoken 18 months ago, one of the things that you were really working on was that training and getting, you know, your first layer of team up to speed so that they could train the next layer. If you hadn't done that, Vladimir, you would have been in a real mess in 2020.
Definitely.
Right.
And look, there were some very difficult situations. I'm not gonna say it was all
Mm-hmm.
clean and organized at all time. No. When those situations happen, you need to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that we are perfect, so we did not remain like perfect and totally aligned. No. At some point we had to pivot and understand where we need to put the energy. When you are running at 50%, you may need to say, okay, don't do this right now. Let's just focus on this and align. But we understand the culture that we need to go back to those things when they're coming, and we went back to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it also shows you that whenever you had something, because you were organized, because everything was aligned and well planned, when something was going wrong, it was visually obvious that this was out of place and you knew what to do. So
So,
definitely.
yeah, are you back at full capacity for your staff on the floor now, or no?
No, I'm not back at full capacity.
Okay.
We went back at full capacity, I think, at the beginning of December. But right now, it's the beginning of January, and again, we are having the situation with COVID. It's not 10% or 20% of people out. No, but you have your 2-3 associates going out on a weekly basis because they have been exposed, because they are positive, or because they have some doubt and they have a cough or whatever allergies they have, and you don't want to take the risk, and they have some temperature things. So we're just trying to maintain, protect the other associate, and just maintain it really safe.
Right. So what other innovative approaches do you have planned, or have you implemented to keep you moving forward towards world class? Because, the plan that you had originally had did not include a pandemic. So what innovative approaches have you decided to take, or are considering, or have taken to move the company forward?
Okay, so it looked like that I miss to tell you something also. So adding to those lines that we had, we also are now implementing a new line of product. I cannot divulge the name of it right now because it's still registering, but it has to do with the ant bait. So we are now installing a line to get into this part of the business, and I think we did our crew, our maintenance department, led by Tom, has definitely done a very good job bringing this machine in and installing, and we are about to get ready to go. And imagine, it has been it's like 2 acquisition, Vector and Baitline. So it definitely, I can tell you, it's a blessing now. And when I take a couple of steps out and I'm looking at 10,000 feet, and I definitely understood that we need to focus on and the cost part and profitability of things right now. And that's our focus right now. We do have like two focus, this one and our distribution. We've seen that we were faced with a lot of challenges on part of distribution and inventory. We actually acquire a new warehouse because things were getting very, very hectic. And, because of the pandemic, now you are trying to run things very lean, understand, and have people fulfilling orders and receiving things maybe 2-3 weeks and a lot of rotation. However, right now, because there's a huge risk that you can get out of stock of raw material, I think it's maybe a safer bet to maybe increase your inventory a little bit more because you never know what's going to happen with this pandemic. Again, it's not over. So we have to be mindful of those kind of things. And what does that mean? That means, again, it's increasing your cost. You getting another warehouse, it's more cost and things. So you definitely need to take this and understand where you're gonna cut something else, where you're gonna be more profitable. So we definitely engage in a lot more of automation talk. However, again, with the pandemic, supplier cannot come here, engineers cannot come here to analyze what they need to analyze on the floor and make things happen. But again, we had people in, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm very proud of my team in the sense that we had mechanics that we saw them really grow during this time. Every time there's a challenge, there's an opportunity for somebody to rise up. So our maintenance school really learned things, and they would go to YouTube and the machinist. We had a contractor that used to service us. He was actually located in the company, and since February, did not step into the company for 4 or 5 months, and we had another machinist that was trying learning. He had experience in things, but he learned to do all those parts while we had machine down and running 24 hours because we had to run and run and run and run. And he was able to pick up those things, go to YouTube, learn how to run this machine and make things happen. So again, challenges, opportunities we learn about. We learn that we have a lot of valued associates, that they have a lot of potential, that when you trust them, they're gonna make the right step. And so we definitely learn a lot of things, and we are taking action on those learnings right now.
I think it's really interesting. I mean, we have a pandemic. I want to ask you for a success story, and that's where I'm taking you right now, Vladimir. But I mean, you think about it, there's a pandemic, you post 30% growth in the year, you acquire a company, you're getting ready to fire up a new line to make something brand new. I mean, you've had a successful year in a really, really challenging year. So now I'm going to give you the opportunity beyond those things to share a success story that you can think of over the last, even if it's not through COVID, over the last 18 months since we last spoke.
Janet, a lot. You're about to I'm getting even teary eyes because there's so many. I think I'm out of words really to express one. However, I think everything has to do with the group of people you work with. You give them trust, and you kind of activate their potential. You know, you need to remain very humble and confident. It's about really help them first, try to bring some value to them. Now, I have one during this pandemic about 4 months ago, while we have many trucks coming in and out, and I'm pulling up into the parking, and somebody knocked, everybody with mask and things. So I don't know who it is. I understand he's a truck driver, and I go down, and the person starts speaking to me in Spanish, and said, and called me by my middle name. Not middle name, I don't have a middle name, by my first name. He said, Vlad. He said, Vladi, tu no me reconoce. You don't remember me. I said, no, okay, but I don't know who it is. So he tells me his name, and it was one of my, used to work for me in Dominican Republic.
No.
As a forklift driver. And I remember I was a supervisor at this time, and I called him. He was very disciplined guy, and I put him in a training as a driver, a truck driver assistant. And he went from there, and he learned how to drive a truck. And now he's 20 years later, is in the United States driving trucks and making some good money. He has his own trucks and doing things like that. And he was telling me, he's practically the same age as I am, maybe a little bit older. And he was calling me like Papa, like Dad, you like my dad, And I said, look, I didn't do anything. You had all this potential, and you made the right thing, and there's so many people around you, and in all plants, they are not the loud person that talk a lot and very enthusiastic, but they have tremendous potential. Mm-hmm. So they maybe you see them over here, but they can do this. So it's about showing people that they can always do more. So this was one of the story. But at my plant at AP&G, every day we have success stories. We have people that have been working for 26 years, and they have been teaching others and things. They are very engaged with the company the same way the leadership team and the owners are engaged with them. So again, I understand that for me, I'm very blessed to be in the position I am, to have a team like that. And I'm looking forward to just keep on learning from them, and keep on learning from people like you and any other that I meet. It's I think the challenges are just studying, and as challenging or studying, the learnings also are coming our way even faster. We cannot be afraid to fail. It's just part of the process. Mm-hmm. We have failed in many processes in our company. I can tell you that. And what we do, we take a step back, and we just start look at it and try to improve every day, improve a little bit more, document what you improve. And again, if it doesn't work, try continuous improvement and mind frame, And
yep. Well, your journey to world class has been both a professional one with the company, but also a personal one, hasn't it?
Yes. I'm always looking to learn a little bit more. I think that I had, when my transition here to the US, I had a little bit of a challenge. I got a lot of weight, and you know, it's you used to live in a tropical country, and you come here in the winter, you get some weight, and then you never lose it, and things like that, and you get a little bit sluggish if you don't move. It's about energy, you know. So, and everybody knows me as very energetic, but I wanted to remain the mind very tight. So I really engaged into, I think, the past 2-3 years, understanding my body, controlling my weight, engaging like intermittent fasting, that and all those things have helped me really gain energy, have a very crisp mind, and understand that you need some time to take a step back. You cannot be all the time focus on work. And I look, I would not be here, you know. I have to thank my wife that keep up with me with all this energy. And I have two wonderful girls that I've learned a lot from, the three of them doing this pandemic. It has been very challenging also. You know, you have the kids learning from home, while me, I definitely cannot stay home, thank God. And my wife is able to do it. However, she's working, and also the kids are here learning. So it's, sometimes you say, oh, okay, I have a tough job, but I think they do. She had a tougher job than me, because I can tell you that I was running to go to work, because it would be very, very tight for me to do anything with those girls and keep the rain like that. So kudos to my wife, Dalia. She really did a great job on that, and keep on doing a great job that she does. And now I also engaged this past year and a half in what I would call that I wanted to really learn about, you know, financial independence, and I got engaged with a very good group of people, very crisp-minded. So I got my license as a financial planner, some great people, Michael Stokes, Mary Meehan, Anthony Castro. So I engage with, you know, whoever you surround yourself with, and choose the 5 people you surround yourself with and get more in touch with. That's how you're gonna be in the next 5 years. So really wanted to understand how I can plan better, you know, and not really stay on the rat race, you know, make some proper investment and start learning about things. You know, I understand that I can take some very good decision on understanding waste on the manufacturing side and things like that. But personally, I also wanted to see what kind of waste did I add in my personal life and system and spending and things like that. So it was very good for me to get engaged in those kind of people, and they're still mentoring me. And so that's one of the things. And, you know, I was able to get back to cycling. I got in 2020 2,000 miles on my bike, you
Nice.
know, outside. It's nice, you know, but yeah, we're gonna keep on doing that, and you know, trying to help people, you know,
Grow.
trying to inspire people to grow.
Yeah.
You know.
Vladimir, I want to ask you one last question, and we like to ask all of our guests this one. Any key takeaways from what you've seen in the last year and where you're planning to go that you would leave with manufacturing leaders at this point?
So whenever, my key takeaway, Janet, whenever you face with challenges, you need to understand through this, there is a learning. There is an opportunity to learn something, and that's gonna allow you to raise above this. Now, we as plant managers, quote unquote, supposed to be leaders, you know. And now we definitely need to stay humble, confident, and you know, you need to do the right thing. Try to provide value before you receive anything, you know. And again, if you don't grow, you're dying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're not learning something every day, again, you're not growing. So about it, it's if you can make an improvement of 50 cents every day, that's wonderful. You know, it's gonna keep on going and going and going. So this is the frame of mind we need to have as leaders and plant managers and directors. We need to understand that we are dealing with people. So a lot of compassion. Those are, I think those times just taught us really the things that need to be valued. You know, teamwork, compassion, empathy, and understand that with the same way that you're facing the challenge, you're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. You have a lot of other companies going around the same thing, and maybe you should be engaging and supporting each other. Understand there's this competition going also in, but there can be a healthy competition. And yes, so that's would be my advice. Be humbly confident and do the right thing.
I love it. Vladimir, it is always such a pleasure to talk to you. You're quite inspiring. So thank you so much for joining me, and good luck with AP&G and all your new products and your new lines. And we'll be in touch again to have you on the show again.
Thank you very much, Janet. Again, Happy New Year. Stay safe. Okay, always a pleasure.
Same to you.
And please tell Kevin, looking forward
to meeting him
to
sometime.
meeting him.
Yeah,
definitely. Okay.
exactly.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Vladimir.
Thank you.
That is Vladimir Floresca. He is a plant manager at AP&G, and he is based in, is it Bayonne, New Jersey?
Bayonne, New Jersey.
Bayonne, New Jersey. So that's our show this week. Thanks so much for listening to Make It Right. You can check out our Twitter and LinkedIn feeds that are on our podcast page. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube. And keep in mind that Make It Right is brought to you by Kevin Snook. He's a leadership advisor and author of the best-selling book, Make It Right, 5 Steps to Align Your Manufacturing Business from the Front Line to the Bottom Line. Until next time, I'm Janet Eastman. Thanks for listening to Make It Right. Bye, Vladimir.
Bye, Janet.